Last night, Manchester United played Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, and something quite remarkable happened. Timothy Fosu-Mensah played a game for Manchester United for the first time in 1,152 days. Now, a lot has changed in the world since May of 2017 when he made his last appearance. For example, Wayne Rooney played his last game for Manchester United, then moved to Everton, then moved to DC United, then moved to Derby and had the whole club named after him. People didn't pretend to care whether you had pineapple on your pizza. Hawaiian was just fine back then. The last time Timothy Fosu-Mensah played for Manchester United, Adam McCullough looked like this. This man wasn't even the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom the last time Timothy... Oh no, that's not... Is that him? No, that's not him. Jay Motti looked like this. The last time Timothy Fosu-Mensah played for Manchester United, Barry Chuckle was still alive. Although, he'll always be alive to me. To you. This wasn't even the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. No, that's just another... Wait, no, that is just another silly picture. The last time Timothy Fosu-Mensah played for Manchester United, Kendall Jenner hadn't even mended police social relations by giving a copper a fucking Pepsi in an advert. She hadn't even fixed everything like she has done since. So thanks, Kendall. Stephen Howson looked like this. COVID-19, anyone? The last time Timothy Fosu-Mensah played for Manchester United, the Prime Minister wasn't even this man. Oh, it's just another silly pic. Oh my... That actually is him, fuck. And the last time Timothy Fosu-Mensah played for Manchester United, I looked like this. So well done, Timothy, on your return to the first team. May there be many more like last night. We salute you. Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. As you can see, Timothy Fosu-Mensah made his, well, can we call it a debut? Can your debut grow back? It's like your virginity, innit? He has lost it, but it kind of feels like it can grow back after 3 years. But obviously great news, Timothy Fosu-Mensah playing of the day. Tonight's show then, we're going to be looking at the latest on Jadon Sancho. Simon Stone of the BBC has provided a big update as to the price of Jadon Sancho. We're going to be looking at, dare I say it, Leeds. Oh, we're going to have to get used to saying that word again. A word that hasn't really left my mouth much since don't drive past, and then that's it. And then we're going to be looking at St. Swithin's Day. Ever heard of it? Didn't think so. Manchester City banned from European competition and then not banned from European competition. We're going to be going through that. And of course it's been Flying Ant Day. If you don't know what that means, you're about to find out. But first of all, tonight's sponsor, it's a new sponsor tonight actually, Cams! There he is, straight on the top, check that out. Let me know what you're drinking at home, boys. Cheers, I've got Cam in with me tonight. You alright, Cam? He hasn't said anything. I said, are you alright, Cam? And simply silence responded. Are you alright, Cam? I'm brilliant. He's great, Cam's great, I'm great. Hope you're all great at home. Of course, in the week that we found out that Manchester City's ban had been overturned, I would like you to give me some puns tonight. And I want your football money puns. You can have, you know, Aguero, Sergio Aguero. Cam help me out with that one, and each time I say it, it sounds worse than the last time. Diego Costa, an arm and a leg. More like. There you go, there's your puns. Football, money, puns. Let me have them, and there's been some sad news. Before we get into the main news, there's been some sad news as the knife crime stats in London sharply rose today after what can only be described as a vicious attack in the nation's capital. Check this out. Oh, it's hard to watch, innit? Oh, it's hard to watch. It's vicious. It's so vicious. No, of course, congratulations to Sir Tom Moore. Seems weird saying that because I went to school with a lad called Tom Moore and he didn't look anything like that. Big ginger fella. Great guy. Let's get into our first story then. Jadon Sancho, of course, the first story today, as he always is, it seems like. The ongoing saga that is Jadon Sancho. The story with no glory as of yet, but it seems as though what's happened here is Simon Stone has done his regular thing where he stays quiet for a while, and then he just, you think, oh my God, we're gonna have to turn the machine off. And then you're like, there's a heartbeat because Simon Stone has come out and said that Man United will not be getting a cut price deal for the Dortmund winger. There's no life left. Oh, here we go, boys. Manchester United will not get Jadon Sancho in a cut price deal from Borussia Dortmund despite the financial impact of COVID-19. United have made the 20-year-old England forward one of their major targets when the transfer window opens on the 27th of July. It was initially thought that Dortmund, who were in the process of completing the signing of Jude Bellingham from Birmingham after the 17-year-old opted to sign for the Bundesliga side despite United's interest, really sticking the knife in there, BBC and Simon Stone, thank you very much. They wanted in excess of £100 million for Jadon Sancho. However, in April's executive vice chairman, Ed Woodward, let me read that again. In April, United's executive vice chairman, Ed Woodward, in case you don't know him, bald fella, no one likes him, that's it. The Old Trafford club were not immune from the financial impact caused by matches having to be played behind closed doors, excuse me, and rebates required to be paid back to broadcasters. Although sources have rejected reports that they had put a £50 million ceiling on Sancho, Woodward's statement was taken to mean United would have less to spend on new players, excuse me for burping. However, even though Dortmund have experienced the same problems, BBC Sport understands that the German side are resolute in their desire to stick by their valuation for Sancho, which has been communicated to senior figures at Old Trafford, and they are not interested in increasing the number of add-ons to lower the central figure. Something that's been mooted and debated and discussed, and what even the opposite of muted is, high-volumed it. No, it's not spelled the same. The idea that we may be paying something like 70 million, 80 million up front, and then 25, 30 million in add-ons. Well, they want it all up front. No lardons, no nothing. They want the bacon and the cheddar as well. Sancho's current £190 million a week, not right, £190,000 a week contract runs to 2022, which Dortmund believes puts them in a position of strength. Of course. Although, do you know when Paul Pogba's deal that runs out on the same year, when we're linked with transfers to other teams, that seems to put us in a position of weakness. It's strange how that works, isn't it? When it's another club's player who's got a contract till 2022, they're in a position of strength. When it's United, better sell him now because he won't be worth anything next year. Weird how that works, ain't it? Dortmund believes puts them in a position of strength. Unlike Dortmund, United are still to secure a place in next season's Champions League, aside from up to 100 million income that would come from the competition. Missing out for a second successive year would cost them £22.5 million as a penalty, as a clause written in to their deal with shirt suppliers Adidas. First of all, yeah, Dortmund are in the Champions League, but they ain't winning it. I'm going to say it. I know it sounds stupid. You don't predict stuff in the future. Dortmund have won one trophy in the last 8 years, and that was the German Cup. Dortmund don't really win many things. What the great thing about Dortmund is you're in the Champions League, you don't win it, but you get to play as an 18-year-old. That's why Dortmund's so exciting. Not because you genuinely think you're going to go to Dortmund and win loads of trophies, because Dortmund don't win loads of trophies. We've seen that Dortmund don't win loads of trophies. But it looks as though Jadon Sancho, for me, again, this is in theory bad news, or news of a, negative aspect to it. But the fact that Simon Stoner's writing is talking about this deal once more suggests that an update has been made, that contact has been made in recent days, in recent weeks, because he stayed away from this for a little while, Simon Stoner has. He's let your Romanos, your Christian Folks, you know, whoever, he's let them deal with it. And he's stuck away from it, but now he's coming back saying that we will not get Jadon Sancho in a cut price deal, similar to how I think we've seen in the past Leicester will not sell Harry Maguire for less than a world record fee. How Aaron Wan-Bissaka will not be joining Manchester United for less than £50 million. These sorts of articles tend to creep out when the selling club are getting close to selling their player. It's great news for United, I think. Like I said, it seems like a bad story, but for me, excellent. Why is Jesus up so late? First of all, I know I look a bit like Jesus. Second of all, why would he have a bedtime? Jesus ain't got no bedtime, mate. Frankie de Wonga. Give me your football, money, puns. Julian Drachma. That is fantastic, Max. I'm writing that one down. You're going in the Hall of Fame, mate. Julian Drachma. Abhishek Bhatia says, like the video, guys. I couldn't agree more. Like the video, please, guys. Victor Tenorov instead of Lindelof. Yeah, it's not bad. David Coins. Who's that instead of? David Coins. What's that a pun of? David Coins. David Coins. Interesting, that one. Let me know, Franca, who the hell is David Coins? Rupee Loftus-Cheek, very good. Petr Cech. That's really nice as well. That's what I'm getting written down. Petr Cech. You're welcome, Joe, mate. Thanks, Max. Show me the Mane. That's nice. can't remember his name. Raheem Pound Sterling, that's very good. Tedden Money instead of Mengi, you're pushing it, mate. And finally, before we go to our next story, David Caseta. Again, don't know who you're talking about there. Dean Wincash, very nice. Dollar Rummer is another very good one. Moving on to our next story then tonight. And this is a sad one. We've had one potentially optimistic, uplifting story about Jadon Sancho, but tonight, Leeds have been promoted. Hot off the heels of West Brom's loss to Huddersfield. Leeds United have been promoted back to the Premier League. And this is how I felt when I heard that Leeds had been promoted.
Sorry, bro. I slapped down his back like there's no tomorrow.
Slap the flesh. Fuck off.
Hit me like a slap to the flesh, in the words of Andy Tate there. Mixed feelings, innit? Mixed feelings. Beelzebub is back. The devil himself. Mixed feelings because obviously it's Leeds, so let's just stay down there, don't worry about that. But then also, a rivalry comes back. Is that me just softening the blow a little bit, suggesting that the rivalry itself is enough of a reason to want to see Leeds in the Premier League? Did we enjoy it while they were gone? It was quite fun while they were gone, wasn't it? But yeah, Leeds are going to be back in the Premier League. 2 more games next season where you have to be shitting yourself before the start of it because you know that they're going to be trying harder than they've ever tried in their lives. Although one thing with Leeds is, I do believe United hold a special place of hatred in the depths of their cavernous and empty hearts. But everyone hates Leeds, so is every match just a derby for them? Is every match like the biggest match of their season because no one likes them? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe that will mean that we'll get away with them not trying as hard against us. Because I remember those Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, Lee Bowyer days, and sometimes it was awful going there. Absolutely chuddy awful. Rune says, does this feel like another Vidal story? If you're talking about Jadon Sancho, not for me, no. I don't think so. I think there's definitely more to this one. United want him. He wants United. Just got to get it done. The transfer window doesn't actually open for a little while yet. Let's not forget about that. But Leeds are back in the Premier League. It was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
Sorry, bro. I slapped down his back like there's no tomorrow.
Slap the flesh. Fuck off.
Slap me flesh. Cheers, Andy. Moving on. Ooh, bit of good news actually for once. We've had some bad news. We've had 2 bits of bad news in a row. Let's have some good news. And this one, coming from the world of myth and rumour, St Swithin's Day legend could bring 40 days of sunshine as UK scorchers forecast. A quirky St Swithin's Day folklore based on an angry Saxon saint's prediction has it that whatever the Winchester weather is doing on July the 15th predicts either 40 days of sunshine or 40 days of rain. What if it's overcast? What if it's snowing? St Swithin's Day is upon us once again. This was on the 15th, so very recent. And legend has it, today's weather will predict the next 40 days of sunshine or rain. Every July, followers of the medieval folklore, let me just write that down, because I guess, if it was up to me to guess, I would say there are less than 1 follower of such medieval folklore. This is nothing but a good, funny little thing for articles, for newspapers to write about. There's no one who's like, Within's Day it is. And every single year it's been wrong, but this year it's going to be right. We follow the folklore till the day we die. As legend has it, the weather will predict the next 40 days of sunshine or rain. It's used to determine whether Brits are in for a summer of downpours or scorchers. At St Within's Day legend, the whim of the spirit of an angry medieval saint will determine the weather through the end of July and August. Now, of course, this is absolute bull crap, but if it does hold out to be true, because the weather's been great again today, if it does hold to be true, this could play a part in Manchester United's running. If it's sunny, we might be better. If it's rainy, we might be sad and worse. If you're going to believe in this sort of folklore, you might as well believe that Bruno Fernandes is a better player when it's sunny. Although the quirky tradition has never been proven true, right? Staycation holidaymakers better hope it's a myth. Today's widespread grey, drab conditions throughout much of the UK have all the makings of a traditional British summer. St Within's Day, a forecast legend is said to have begun in the 9th century. Anglo-Saxon Bishop of Winchester's grave was disturbed. The bishop, whose name is styled Swithin or Swithin, we don't know because we can't read, was believed to have been a tutor to a young king, Alfred the Great. call himself Alfred the Great. I'll call myself Joe the Great if I have to. He said is to have requested to be buried outside Winchester Castle, so his grave will be exposed to the elements and the footsteps of worshippers. Bit big-headed, that, isn't it? To assume that you're going to have worshippers upon death. Imagine if I said that. Put me on the surface. So why? Just so worshippers can freely touch my top of the grave thing. They're like, you're not going to have any worship. I might do. Withins to the lot of you. I'm going to have worshippers. Put me on the surface. Just dip me in creosote, leave me out in the garden. That'll do. The 9th century priests are said to have moved the bishop's tomb and struck a terrible storm. Yada, yada, yada. It's meant to be cloudy. It was sunny today. Swithin's day. Ruined it. Gone. You gone, lads. Next up. And here is the source of our puns as Pep Guardiola there gently fillets a bottle of sparkling water. Give me your football money puns. In the week that financial fair play took a blow not dissimilar to the one being given to that 500 mil vessel of Evian there, a blow so strong that it's shaken UEFA and FIFA to their very core. Sergio Euros, I've already said Sergio Aguero's, but well done. Donnarubbles, that's good, because Dollaruma works as well, but Donnarubbles also works. Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Nice. Marco Asensio. Wes Crown. That's good because that's a sort of a defunct kind of, I wouldn't say medieval, but Crown is a, what? Mid-millennium currency, perhaps? Like a florin or a farthing. Dinar to Berbatov. Is a dinar or a dinar a currency? I'm not sure. Czech Kuyate. Very nice. Money on Igalo. Very good. Jimmy Floyd piggy bag. That's good, isn't it, Cam? Cam said no. Say yes. He said it doesn't really work. Say yes. Right. Said yes. Yen Oblak. What about that? He's not happy with that one either. Shane Dong. He likes that one. He likes a bit of Shane Dong. Frank Lampard. That's good. Again, a defunct currency, but you know, there's only so many active currencies in the world, and francs, we'll take that. If anyone can get one with peseta in, I'll be very happy. Let's get into the story then. Oh, and it's sad, isn't it? It's a really sad one. It's a sad one for Manchester. Billionaire underdogs, Manchester City, have once again been mistreated, have been played, have been led around the houses, have been made a mockery of when they've done naught wrong. All of these things. It's so sad to see the way that Man City, billionaire underdogs, Manchester City, were run amok over the last few weeks, insulting them, accusing a team that struggled to fill a stadium of 40,000, accusing them of not being able to create the funds necessary to spend £1.2 billion in the last 10 years. It's difficult to imagine how a team that generally had not really won anything in the last 40 years became the most successful team in England by spending the most money, and somehow people are trying to say that they didn't earn that money in a natural way. That's weird, isn't it? Because when you get taken over by a billionaire and proceed to spend billions of pounds, that happens to all of us. My local corner shop got taken over by a billionaire. Happens all the time. And now they're selling gold and caviar and chips and fags for 50 grand a pop, and people are buying them. Ridiculous. I can't believe it. It's so unfair. But let's get into the story. This is from The Independent, and this is that Man City's decision is a body blow for UEFA they may never recover from. Again, it's so sad, isn't it? City being mistreated, and now UEFA, lovable, non-corrupt, non-bribe-taking official government body that is UEFA. The decision to overturn Man City's 2-year Champions League ban is a disaster for UEFA. European football's ruling body may never recover from the ruling of Court of Arbitration for Sport. Sport. I was almost sick at the injustice. There are serious questions being asked in Neon. Most of these could be answered by publishing the original verdict of the investigatory chamber, the independent group who came to the conclusion that City deserved to be charged with violating fiscal rules. There is a mechanism for doing this. Last year there was an internal debate at UEFA over levels of transparency in cases involving financial fair play. Some wanted every decision to be laid bare immediately. Cheeky bastard. A compromise was agreed that the details of investigations should be made public after CAS had completed their process. The time to do this is now. Yada, yada, yada. UEFA botched this case. Yada, yada, yada. Defend Manchester City. Did nothing wrong. UEFA looked bad. Spend what you want, lads. If you've got 10 billion, spend 10 billion. Spend 10 billion on one player, and then all you have to do is not only break the rules, but lie about breaking them. 10 million fine, slap on the wrist. Injustice. And I hope UEFA can recover from this because they've been doing nothing but great work for the last 20 years. When does the Qatar World Cup start again? And they really help set that up. UEFA and FIFA. UEFA and FIFA. They've been, from the top down, fantastic organisations. Right, let's move on. We've had enough of that. Awful, awful business. Wayne doubloon. Not technically a currency, but it's certainly money. It's doubloons, one of my favourites actually. This sort of pirate currency. Rune Bugan saying, I'm 50% psyched and 50% gutted. Leeds are back up. Yeah, very much mixed emotions, isn't it? You get to play a rival. You have to go to Leeds. So, you know, not easy. David Peseta, not really De Gea, but I'll take it. You can stop saying that over and over again. Let me get rid of that. Hard user on this channel. Cheers, mate. Right, let's move on to our final story today. Sad, isn't it? Final story before the weekend begins. Let me know what you're drinking in the comments as well. There we go. A 50-mile wide swarm of flying ants has been making its way over the UK, and here is what it looks like. Look at that, look. Flying. In case you didn't know, the thing there, look. Where is it? There. Flying ants. You know, that big blanket of flying ants that's come over everywhere. The enormous cloud of insects was picked up by the Met Office's weather radar over Kent and Sussex on England's southeast coast. The Weather Service said smaller swarms could be seen over London. A video was created by the Met Office alongside a tweet saying, "It's not raining in London or Kent or Sussex, but our radar says otherwise." The radar is actually picking up a swarm of hashtag flying ants across the southeast. During the summer, ants can take to the skies en masse, emerging on usually warm, humid and windless days. Hashtag Flying Ant Day. How many hashtags, Met Office? A spokesperson for the Met Office said they were likely to be thousands of ants. Really? Look at the size of it. Look at the size of that swarm. Imagine if they went, a spokesperson for the Met Office said there's likely to be 2 or 3 ants. And they've turned up on the radar. Of course there's thousands. I was hoping for millions, to be honest. If it said 1 billion, I'd have gone, fuck yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it? Thousands of ants. Bit underwhelming, isn't it, as a figure? Probably, what is it? I don't know, I'm guessing, but probably, 1,000? 1,000? I've got 1,000 hairs on my head. Not on the Met radar, is it? Anyway, do a lot of you observe Flying Ant Day? Because it seemed to be a myth and a sort of a rumour for a long time, but it's now the mainstream media, the winged curtain of disdain flies across Britain on any given day, apparently. There is no such thing as Flying Ant Day. Spoiler alert. Anytime from basically July to the end of September, you might see loads of flying ants. There is no singular day that is Flying Ant Day. $5 from Isaac Hobson says, cheers for all the laughs. This is the kind of content why I subscribe. And thank you very much, Isaac. And this is the kind of offering that we like to give here at Stretford Paddock. A bit of this for that person, a bit of that for that person, a bit of this for you lot, and for him, he loves it, don't you? Again, not spoken. Silence is violence, actually. So, Yen Vertonghen, anyone? Very good. Yen Vertonghen. Jens Lehmann also works. 1 million ants, Neil Fish says there. No, it's just thousands of ants, mate. Thousands of bloody bants in this office, isn't there, Cam, usually? What are you crying for? Be happy for me. Thousands of bants usually go around in this office. You get it. You get it. I've actually got loads of flying ants outside my house. Swear, see, CJ, you may be observing Flying Ant Day. Rupees Loftus Cheek, we've already had it, but I'm happy to read it out again. Odeon, Igar, loads of cash. I feel like you could use that pun and just repurpose the final few syllables to make any week's pun applicable. Swiss, Frank, I'm not going to read that one. That's got the word wank in it. Wayne Rupee, that's nice. Declan Price, that's good. I really like that one. Diego Maradona, and I tell you what, speaking of dollars, United are up against one of the biggest spenders in the Premier League. Honestly, it's awful, these clubs, isn't it? Spending loads of money trying to win trophies. We are playing Chelsea this weekend. We're going for 4 wins in 4 matches against Chelsea on Sunday. We've got the preview coming tomorrow. We've got the transfer review coming. We've got the watch-along on Sunday for Manchester United against Chelsea. United are going to beat Chelsea, aren't they?
Piss off.
You piss off, mate. Not COVID anymore. Forget about it. No, of course, don't ever forget about it. Don't let anyone touch your drinks. Don't let anyone touch your legs. And if anyone looks at you for too long, spit at them like I just did. That's going to be all from me tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy a can, drink responsibly, or drink irresponsibly, but make sure you're not around anyone else. Never drink irresponsibly. Never drink irresponsibly, of course. Just here and there. Yeah, drink responsibly. That's going to be all from me tonight. We've got Wayne Money, which doesn't really work. The best one tonight, Donna or Dollar Rummer. Thank you very much. Quinton Fortune, don't even have to change it. No pun necessary. It works. Thank you very much for joining me. Like I said, all the build up to the Chelsea game coming this weekend. Have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend. We'll be back next week for Late Night Live, and it will be a birthday bonanza because, and I hate to plug it so early, I'm not trying to get any presents sent, but next Friday will be my mother-fricking birthday, so... And I tell you what, is it true, Cam, that I've got nothing better to do than to work on the evening of my own birthday? Is that true? Maybe you should get a guest on. Maybe you should mind your fucking mouth, mate. I'm having words with you after this. My birthday next week is going to be a birthday bonanza. Cake, candles, get your little party streamers. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me.